overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 Tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With special guests 3 doors down. And Mammoth WVH. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Creed returns, the Summer of '99 Tour.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Yesterday was the talk of the town. It was a cow on the side of the road.
Do you live close to a movie theater? I'm just curious because maybe the cow was trying to go to the movies.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I thought Penny was smart to handle this the way he handled it. He expressed frustration with the system, the chaotic nature of it. The price hike on eggs ain't got nothing on the price hike on basketball players. The same dude who cost you $150,000 last summer is costing you $500,000 right now. I understand his sentiment, but he stopped well short of criticizing PJ Haggerty.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
In honor of George Foreman, decided to do a pick six on 6 greatest heavyweight boxers of all time.
Number 4, my guy, Mike Tyson. There is no greater feat that I've had. Like if I had my Mount Rushmore of things that I've accomplished in my life, the very first time I beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Bain drives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jaron with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
Woo! Let's go, Let's go!
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
This week, we're going to run down the hits and the misses from WrestleMania 41.
The main event, NXT title on the line, Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans. One of the greatest triple threat matches I've ever seen in my life.
I'm shocked.
And it made history because it's the first time there's 3 black men highlighting a NXT pay-per-view.
Okay.
That was dope too.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Tripp has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The other thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that, they dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I mean, they're a recovery shoe apparently that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they're going to get seated this. So who's going to actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Live from downtown Memphis, this is the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Chris Vernon.
Here we go. It's noon on GrindCityMedia.com. It's Chris Vernon Show. Welcome. It is the Friday, May 2nd, 2025 edition of the show. Today on the show, Gary Parrish on the Gary Parrish Show will join us as he does on Fridays. Got a bunch of news to get to. There are some great basketball games that went on last night. We had two of those. One that ended a series, one that set up a Game 7. We will get you ready for the weekend ahead. Big basketball news of Gregg Popovich stepping down as the Spurs coach. We'll get to all the news and notes of the day. Parrish will join us. It's a Friday. It's glum out, but smile. Let's do it. Turn it up. Hope everybody's having a good day. All right, we got a bunch of stuff to get to on the show today, not the least of which is those games that went on last night, and we've got a big weekend set up. Before I get to anything, I welcome John Roser to the show. John Roser, a.k.a. the Cologne Ranger, the Body Spray Band, Cinder Sack, Johnny Backpole, Johnny Bearcat, the Grim Roser, John Asparagus, Johnny Nick Horn, John Lance. He's Yogi Roser. He's Dr. Thunder. Hello, John.
Man, well-rested Thunder. Well-rested
Yeah,
Thunder.
they get to sit around while their opponent battles it out. Devin Walker is here. He's the microphone mangler. Senor Quasadilla, Mr. Math, Navajo Joe, the reporter, the photographer. He's Sir Hiss. He's Walker 93.
I'm wearing all black to match what's going on outside, bro. Look real.
Yeah, it's looking pretty ominous outside. Gary Parrish is here from the Gary Parrish Show. You can watch it and listen to it every morning on Grind City Media, starting at 10 o'clock.
The real bloodline member.
Put your ones up. Put your ones up. All right, we've got a bunch of stuff to get to. That Pistons Knicks last night was sensational, and obviously the crossover that everybody has been passing around with Jalen Brunson last night. It was one of those where I've talked about, you know, young teams going through it for the first time. Obviously, we've been through that in many different iterations, and I cannot help but think the Pistons are left, and you end up with all of these series ending, and because we have been in that spot so many times, we know the feeling, which is, what if this would have happened? What if this would have happened? Oh, if Cade would have just made that shot. Oh, if Beasley doesn't fumble the ball out of bounds. Oh, if they would have just gotten any of the stops down the stretch. Oh, if JB wouldn't have subbed Osar Thompson out of the game, you know, when Jalen Brunson had his run, whatever. And it's like, how many times do we have to see this, right? Like the vet teams, the experienced guys end up making these plays, and then the young team can't get past the finish line. And to have every game from 3 through 6 be decided by 3 points or less is crazy. Yeah. Like, you can't get more competitive than that. They had 3 games. They had game 3, 4, 5, and 6. All decided by a bucket.
Yep.
And
in Game 6, they were up 7 with like 2:24 to go.
Yeah,
check this.
You can't have your guy who's your vet.
112, 105.
So this is, Hardaway hits like a pull-up baseline jumper, which I did not think was a great shot by any means. And I was like, oh, wow, this just might be. I mean, look, we got to give credit where credit's due because we love playoff environments here in Memphis. That Detroit environment was unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, all playoffs.
Dude,
they never won. They never won a game, but
and
they
then
were lit.
what did they call it? Was it Flopper?
Yeah, they had the flopper, Brunson.
Flopper.
That arena's relatively new.
Yeah.
Shout out Little Caesars.
Have you been?
I've never been. I've been to Detroit,
I like
but I haven't been to that
I like
arena.
Little Caesars Arena.
But like they didn't used to play in downtown Detroit. They played in
Right.
Auburn Hills.
Terrible.
Terrible. But this is like downtown Detroit. Like this was. They've been waiting for something to get excited about. And
So
this
hard to
series was
describe.
that.
You've been to Auburn Hills.
I never went to Auburn
You
Hills.
didn't? So I went there for the NCAA tournament. Memphis
I don't
played.
think I've ever been there.
Memphis played against. It was the year we beat St. Mary's at the buzzer. Dellavedova missed a shot,
Right.
And then we got fed to the wolves to Adrian Payne, rest in peace, and Michigan State. But show up in Detroit. Number one, you're driving forever to get to out to Auburn Hills. And I've never been anywhere like this. I don't know. So you have traveled infinitely more than I to many different basketball arenas. But there, it would be like if you drove to Collierville, right? And you're just driving down like in Collierville, like down Poplar, and like there's like a Zaxby's, and then there's like Sky Zone, and then there's whatever, and then there's like houses and neighborhoods and whatever. And then the basketball arena, it was like literally in the middle of like a suburb. It was so weird.
The Sixers arena is like out a little bit.
It's out of like, and it's like in a little square where everybody
all the little stuff's there.
Yes,
like there's the football stadium there, but it's like you're not in like you're downtown. All right, we got 25 minutes. Let's get out there.
Odd.
The another one, it's not too far from like where you're at, but it's just the United Center.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not, dude. We hated. Honestly, we hated that for All-Star Weekend. We went there. That was right before COVID.
It's like you walk out of the United Center, and it's like there's nothing out here. Nothing.
Like nothing. Like no businesses.
You can't. It's not like you walk to the Magnificent Mile. No.
Right. Walking for years.
Yes.
And that is one of the nice things about having this arena right here is like you walk outside and there's everything.
There's stuff.
You walk out of I remember we went to the Nationals Park to see them, and you walked, I don't know what it's like now, but 10 years ago, you walked out of Nationals Park and it was just like, there's nothing here.
I mean, despite the game that I went to, that's what I loved that about Madison Square Garden.
It's unbelievable.
We left there, and, you walk out of the arena, and I was like, well, what should we do? Should I like hail a cab or whatever? Or like, the subway or whatever? And they were like, it's 11 blocks. And I was like, it is? And so like we stayed in like right by Broadway, right by Times Square, right? Where our hotel was. And so we just walked straight from Madison Square Garden up to, it was great. And I was like, this is great. And you're people watching. And I will say this, one thing, and you've spent the whole fall in New York, you smell weed everywhere now.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Wow. I mean, on the street, you can't walk a block without somebody smoking, like just stand on the corner smoking.
Good pack.
It's everywhere. It's potent.
There's dispensaries all over the city now.
Yeah.
Like, they're like.
You know.
He said,
I know right there.
Hey, look,
it's on 8th Ave.
Is that where it is?
It's a 5-minute walk.
There you go.
Do you have a card or anything?
You don't need a card.
You don't need a card in New York.
Not in New York.
You can
just walk straight in.
You walk straight in.
Buy whatever you want.
You don't need no
whatever
card
you
in New
want.
York.
Wow.
As much as you want.
As much as you want. Hey, just get your ID.
Yeah. They scan your ID and then you're in there.
You in there.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
Oh, that's lit.
That's 100% right.
I didn't partake, but I didn't know it was that easy.
It's very easy.
It's the easiest.
It couldn't be easier.
Oh,
it's like going to
let me tell you
Walgreens.
how much easier it is than that. You can have them deliver it straight to your hotel.
Yes, you can.
What?
To your doorstep.
I mean, they'll walk into your hotel with 800 milligrams of edibles if you want them to.
Damn right.
Yes.
It's like Walgreens, bro.
Yes.
It's just like half-baked.
Yeah,
This
no
is
wonder
really like the Dave Chappelle half-baked movie.
So anyways, back to what I was saying. Hardaway hits the shot, right? Hardaway hits the shot. It's an unbelievable environment. Like, that place is so lit in Detroit. And then that makes it 112 to 105. What follows, Brunson hits a floater, and he's fouled, and he makes a free throw. Brunson made that layup underneath the basket. Towns made a free throw, then he missed a free throw, then the hustle play goes to the Knicks. Then you have the Bridges tip in, which has not gotten enough credit. That was an incredible play to tie the game. And then you have the Brunson 3, right? All that happened. Meanwhile, the only point scored the rest of the way by the Pistons was a Jalen Duren free throw. They scored one. That's the last 2:40 of the game, right? And it was funny. I saw some guy tweet out that like Tibbs went back to the huddle and just wrote on the chalkboard, "Jalen, save us." And he is,
bro. He bing Amir.
I don't know how you guard that.
Yeah, bro.
You
he didn't
don't.
push off.
You can't guard that.
He didn't push off. It wasn't like he didn't use his head or nothing, bro.
The cross back through the legs.
That's just so
I mean,
tough.
that's one of the great perimeter defenders in the world, certainly at his age, and he just left him over here.
You crossed him out.
I remember talking about this last year when they were cracking, and he was like in the top 5 in the MVP voting and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, is he a superstar that we just don't acknowledge as a superstar? Because like when you lined up his numbers to Steph Curry, like we all freely admit Steph Curry is a superstar, right? And we think about all these guys. Like, I don't think people think about Brunson in the same way that they think about like Anthony Edwards. Yet the production,
there are 10 dudes
the production
in the
is
world.
crazy.
Once the playoffs start, there ain't 10 dudes in the world I want on my team more than that guy.
If you go look at the jersey numbers, like he's in New York. So in New York, you see a bunch of Jalen Brunson jerseys, but outside of the New York market, bro, you don't see no Jalen Brunson stuff. Like even though New York's the biggest market in the world, but like outside of the New York fans, people don't rock Jalen Brunson jerseys.
Listen to this. Okay, so second and third, historically, the second and third all-time in points per game jump from the regular season to the postseason, okay? Now, I will tell you that there are 2 guys that are involved in these playoffs that are second and third all time. Well, actually, all 3 are involved right now. But the second and third all time with the increase in points per game, number 3 is Nikola Jokic, okay? His points per game increase to the playoffs.
Does Jimmy Butler get there?
I would have thought Jimmy Butler.
Right. Yeah, Jimmy Butler for sure.
Number 3 all time is Jokic.
Okay.
Number 2 all time is Jamal Murray.
That makes sense.
And number 1 all time is Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Wow.
And the increase. So like that's what I'm saying. Like if we're talking about who would you want, as you said, there's not that many guys you would want. I mean, like the numbers are the numbers.
The numbers are the numbers, but
crazy.
he's also, they're not just numbers. They're numbers like that come with winning. He's made of the right stuff.
He's cold for sure.
He's
right.
Like,
but I want to ask y'all.
Like
Y'all
he won
kids.
2 national championships in college. Don't forget, like this guy's he's a winner in every way you care about that kind of stuff. But he can also like take over game. He checks all these boxes, man.
And it is odd, but
So y'all, how would it take? How long would it take? 'Cause y'all both got kids. How long would it take for y'all? If you said a jersey y'all want, how long would it take to get the Brunson?
My kids have never mentioned Jalen Brunson to me.
I went to a Knicks game and brought home Josh Hart.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same. It is.
But your son likes rando jerseys.
And he also, correct. But he also likes Jalen. He likes Jalen Brunson.
But like, how long,
last night, because what's crazy, the Brunson thing is very, very strange to me because he does it with like footwork and he's not like high flying or anything. But he is also the kind of guy that you theoretically, like he's got the Curry thing where you could, a kid could say, go act like, he could go play like Jalen Brunson. And in fact, that would be the best thing ever if your kid went and acted like he was playing like Jalen Brunson. Like, I mean, you could, the way that we cannot mimic, you can't go out and play in the back and be like, I'm LeBron or I'm Zion or like, there's nothing, you can't relate to that at all. But like kids always thought, like they can be like Steph Curry. Like they can watch Steph Curry and do the things Steph Curry does. Same thing goes with Brunson, and yet it doesn't take hold in the same way. I don't know if it's a charisma thing. I don't know
I don't think he bombs the way Steph bombs.
He doesn't.
In part because nobody bombs like the way
he's shifty. Like he's a small guard. But like I also think he's just a dude to a lot of people.
He's also like, if we're being fair, he's not like cool.
He's not as much of a. I mean,
he's not cool. Not like SGA has got like, as they say, aura.
SGA.
Right?
Okay, well, think about this. Forget about last night's highlight that we've all seen a million times. Tell me your other Jalen Brunson highlight.
I think that's what it is.
No, right. It's a highlight thing.
His only highlights are going to be game winners.
The virality of his game is not very high.
Yeah,
bro.
that crossover was crazy.
It was nasty. He's left-handed for being. I'm left-handed. You were left-handed, Roser.
Yeah.
Left-handed snatching like that. That's hard to do.
Because Asar Thompson thought he was going to drive.
I was saying, he wanted him to go left. He forced him that way.
That boy said.
I will say no. It is like there is the highlight thing too. But like, dude, SGA ain't got like crazy highlights.
That's true.
But he got people think he got.
But it is aura, and SGA is cool.
He is cool.
It's cool.
And he's got the drip, and he walks into the games, and he's like,
but
it's
New York, though, bro. You think it's New York? You should be able to gas me at least a little bit.
Right.
It is interesting. Like my kids have never mentioned Jalen Brunson.
Never.
And even last night, like Louis sat on the couch and watched the end of that game with me at least, and he was never like he didn't want to talk about Jalen Brunson. It didn't come up. Now, he would talk about Anthony Edwards and obviously Ja and Wemby, and they know basketball players. Yeah. And it just occurred to me they've never brought up Jalen Brunson.
How long you think if they named a list? How long would it take to get Jalen Brunson?
A while, because I've literally never heard them say his name. I've never heard them say his name.
It's just odd.
Yeah.
It's odd. I will say this, though.
How about Jalen Brunson?
He was unbelievable last night. He carries that team, like literally carries that team. On the other side, like, there's a big difference in losing playoff series and the feeling you have after them. Now, I got it. They improved 30 games this year. But, like, you walk out, if you're a Pistons fan, it's like, God, what might have been, you've got that feeling. But, like, you are left with, you think about the way we reacted and how people are just on different timelines. And we react like that was just a massive, colossal disappointment, and the GM just stood up there and said, we need massive change. We're not even close. Juxtapose that with, like, Detroit, like, bro, hope springs eternal, right? They're looking at it right now, and they're like, we got Cade. We didn't even have Ivy. We got Thompson.
Asar's going to get better.
Right.
Yeah.
Holland might be a guy that can play. Jalen Duren. Like, we just have to augment these guys.
Yeah.
And so they are in the position that we were once in, honestly. Yeah. Like, it feels like Grizzlies 3 years ago. It really does, where we were looking at it and go, we got Ja, we got Bane, we got Jaren. This is going to be, like, we're set up. We're set up for the next, 10 years, right? I think that's how you're feeling if you're Detroit today. Now, obviously, we know it could go a different way, but we also had those kind of guys, right? Like the same way they have Malik Beasley and Tobias Harris, we had Kyle Anderson, and we had Tyus Jones, and we had Steven Adams, and, right, we had vets that were surrounding them as well. So, I mean, you can screw it up. You can. But, like, you come out of that thing, and, like, I mean, I think you are – if there's a stock you can buy for the future, the Pistons are pretty high on that.
So you just got eliminated, but if you're a Pistons fan, I bet you can talk yourself into this. Man, if we started that series over, we could get them.
Yes,
sure, 1,000%.
Yeah, and that makes you.
But you can't. And that was my point
because Brunson would always end it.
That's
Brunson would always end it.
That's right.
Which is, by the way, why Tibbs should have called the timeout and got him in the last game because he could just finish this.
Yep.
And you can't finish it without him. So you're right. The Pistons would not win the series if they did it again. But if you're a fan, you can think you could.
And honestly, that's what worries me about the second game too, where I am a huge fan of just experience, being through things over and over again, being defended certain ways. Teams use different strategies on you. Teams use different lineups on you, and you have just problem solved so many different times. And now, with the way the Clippers, I thought were going to run out on that. They got up 14 at the end of that, and next thing you know, they were like having to hold on for dear life and needed this massive Norm Powell 3 because it was like, bro, do you guys not know that they don't have like just a throw it to Kawhi, get us home. Like they don't play that way. And yet the Nuggets on the other side, like they know exactly who they are, exactly what they're going to do. And they just missed a couple of shots down the stretch. It just made me less hopeful that because I thought the Clippers should have closed this thing out already.
Yeah.
And now
you got to go play Game 7 on the home court of the best player in the world.
Yeah, dude. Good luck.
You need James Harden to help you close out the best player in the world on the road.
At altitude too, buddy.
Right.
The Clippers are favored though.
They are.
They also
the thin air boy.
They also the Nuggets they looked a lot like how we did down the stretch of the season. Like they just looked something was off, and
they fired their coach too.
And they fired their coach too. But it still even looked off in the couple of games after that. But it almost feels like it's starting to go the other way.
That's because Jokic is coaching the team. Have you seen
in
those
huddles.
videos?
Yeah, in the huddles.
He's making subs.
Yeah.
I mean, they only sub one guy basically.
Right. Yeah.
They play 6, and that could catch up to him too. It did last year against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Caught up to him in Game 7 in the fourth quarter, and they just cashed out.
Yep.
And it's like, bro, how are you up 17 or whatever they were in the fourth? And then next thing you know, Minnesota's going to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
The big story this morning has been that Gregg Popovich is stepping down. I thought this tweet was great by Miles Brown. It said, Gregg Popovich is the reason your favorite team plays the way they do, and your favorite player isn't playing back-to-backs. Salute him and boo him.
Shout out Pop, man.
He is, years ago, I used to sit at the scorer's table, and one night they moved me down. There was a scout from one of the teams that didn't show up, so I ended up sitting at the end of the scorer's table right past the visitors' broadcast. And so I was literally right next to their bench. And I've talked about this before on the show, but Gregg Popovich, Grizzlies were up and were running off on them, and they were like lackadaisical. And Popovich stands up, and he's like, mother. And he's like, timeout, right? And he gets over to the bench. And now imagine, it's like I'm in their huddle. I mean, I'm that close to it, right? Duncan sitting there, Ginobili sitting there, Parker sitting there. Buddy, when I tell you I have never heard anyone get cussed out like this in my life, he was going crazy. Eyes popping out, bright red. Has the clipboard in the middle of it, yelling at them. I wish I could find the game that it was. In the middle of it, he's got the clipboard. He's got, the dry erase thing. He doesn't even write anything on the dry erase. He goes, wham, and the thing splits up. And he's like, so you better get it right, blah, blah, blah. Bro, they came out, and when I tell you they beat the shit out of the Grizzlies. Hey, and the guy sitting next to me is the PR guy, and he turns to one of the assistant, trainer guys, and he goes, that was an all-timer, right? Because he's seen them all, right? Yeah. But he just... And it was like he saves these for certain moments, right? He doesn't dog cuss these guys all the time, but in certain moments he'll just absolutely lose it. And bro, when I tell you they came out and demolished us after this timeout, I was like, I get it.
He understood.
I get it.
He understood the push and pull of it maybe better than anybody, because there's another story, similar situation, and I honestly can't remember if I saw this in person or if I just remember seeing it on television. But it was a similar deal where Spurs are terrible. I feel like it was here, but it might have been something I saw on TV. Either way, noticeably, he calls the timeout and walks away, the way coaches often do, but never came to the huddle. Literally never came to the huddle, never said a word to his team. And after the game, I believe he was asked about it, and he said, they're professionals. They clearly weren't listening to me. So let's let them figure it out. They don't think they need to listen to me? Sit over there and figure it out. I'll be over here.
Wow.
He understood when to use both of those tactics. Yeah. Same core guys. There's a scenario he knew, I got to get in their ass right now, and a scenario where I'm going to leave them alone and make them feel this. Yep. He knew how to do that.
Yep.
That's coaching.
And everybody always says how much he cared about his players, right? Like, that's what you don't see.
Well,
right?
DeMar DeRozan has the story.
Yeah, it's the old Pat Summitt thing, right? They don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. And he's like the emblematic guy.
So, you just hear random stories. People you ask him about Pop. And like DeMar DeRozan, I believe it was DeMar DeRozan, tells the story when his father died.
Yep.
And he's like, we're on the road. I get the phone call. My pops has died. Knock on the door. It's Gregg Popovich. And he sat there with me, and we cried all night together. Like those guys. Kelvin Sampson tells a story.
Yep.
Kelvin gets fired at Indiana. And within literally this next day, he was on a flight to San Antonio. Pop called him and said, come on down here. You're with us. You're not going to be by yourself. Come with us. You just be with us. He said, I landed in San Antonio, and I expect like some manager to come. It's Gregg Popovich waiting at baggage claim.
Yep.
He's that guy.
Yeah, he is. And so, like, look, I will say,
out, Pop,
for
man.
anybody,
Shout out
anybody on the other hand, there was an article written years ago. This is, obviously in our business, you end up reading a million different articles over the years, and there's very few that like stick with you for a long amount of time, right? And I still remember to this day, you could Google it and you could find it. If you ever want to understand what he and like that Spurs thing was all about. So the most beautiful basketball ever played was that Spurs team that came back the next year after they had gotten beat by the Ray Allen shot.
2014 Spurs.
They pushed LeBron back to Cleveland.
Correct.
Yeah,
and that was
beat the crap out of
after that took place, they decided, and they went on like basically a retreat. I can't remember where it was. It might have been the Air Force or something. I think he had a connection to the Air Force, right? And they went on and they were installing. I'm sure if you Googled Jackie McMullen's Summertime, I think it was a Sports Illustrated article. And I remember reading it, and like it was like, this is what happened to us. This is what we are installing. And it was a lot of that, make a choice within a split second, right? We are dribbling, we are passing, we are shooting, we are moving, we are doing all of these things. And we are installing this. And it was like, the whole basis of it is we lost, and now this is what we are doing. And it ended up what came to terms. I mean, you can find highlight videos of it on YouTube. It's truly the most devastating, unbelievable basketball that has ever been played by anyone. Like, it's just good shot to great shot, good shot to great shot.
Gary Neal out there looking like a star, bro. Gary Neal
Dominant.
was like a spray ball.
Everybody.
And it's called Summertime. And I think that was Jackie McMullen wrote the article, and I remember reading it and being like, oh my God, this guy is amazing. This guy is like this was all this. None of this is by chance.
Right. Yeah, 19 straight years, bro. 51 seasons.
Come on,
19 straight seasons. 50 wins or more.
That's crazy.
You would never go see that again, bro. How the way coaches turn over now in the NBA, bro. You ain't never.
Well, I mean, look, you got to think about it. This is another way to look at through the prism of the whole Popovich story today. What we got, Kerr and Spoelstra,
both long
and Carlisle. Like, those old guys are gone, man.
Yeah. Right.
Jeff Van Gundy's an assistant. You know what I mean? And that's after he's been on TV for 15 years. Like, who's left? Seriously, Terry Stotts is an assistant. He was a coach at Portland for 15 years.
And even Carlisle had to change jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Are any of the old guys still
Doc.
around? Doc.
Old
But
head.
he's had 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Since
all the old heads are gone, bro. Like, I'm looking at the list of head coaches right now. Like the Quinn Snyder's are younger. Rick Carlisle, Chris Finch.
Quinn Snyder's like a long tenured guy.
Jason
now.
Kidd's been around
Jason
for
Kidd.
I guess.
Carlisle. You said Carlisle.
Honestly?
Yeah, he's been around.
Honestly,
Tibbs has been around.
I think. I think Jenkins was there longer than Malone, I believe.
No.
Malone was the 3rd longest tenure.
Malone had been there for 10 years.
And then how long at Taylor?
Taylor 19.
No, yeah.
1920 was Taylor's first. Jaws rookie year was Taylor's first year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, you had Mike Malone, Steve Kerr. I mean, for a long time it was Terry Stotts. Terry Stotts had been in Portland.
Spoelstra and Popovich.
Oh, yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. Billy Donovan, 2020.
Yeah,
The
Billy's
next one
been-
is
Billy's been
Tom
around.
Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Jalen just said in my headset. Tibbs is next on the longest tenured list.
He's from July 2020. And then after them is Billy Donovan.
Let me tell you something.
Then Ty Lue.
Hey, you want to know something crazy about, and this could just be like internet culture. Last night, of course, I'm having to record the mismatch late, and I am going to find Tibbs' press conference. Bro, if you just write in THIBS, Tibbs, right? Because that's what everybody calls him on the end. Nobody tries to spell Thibodeau. Tibbs.
No chance.
If you search that, trust me when I tell you, I did not find the press conference there. It is Knicks fans just killing him for like thousands of pages. There's nothing positive.
Are you talking about YouTube or Twitter?
Twitter.
Oh, okay. I typed it on YouTube.
They're like, no matter, even if we win, Tibbs has got to go. How could anybody defend Tibbs? I mean, they are on his ass, bro. I was like, is this how they feel? Like, it got to the point where I was like, this is crazy. I promise you, if you just search Tibbs, you won't find one nice thing.
Well, how much of it was just from Game 5?
No,
they've been like this all year with him.
It's funny because like Wally Zerbiak does, he's pre and post Knicks like you are with Grizzlies,
right?
Wally loves him. Wally's like they should give him a lifetime contract.
I mean, in fairness, if you were to do it for Taylor Jenkins, you'd find the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's like
right?
the culture of the internet with coaches anyway. Like,
that's right.
There's no team.
Nobody's going to say,
nobody
hey,
loves
wow.
their coach. Like I love my coach for my NBA team. Like who says?
You know what was weird? The Laker fans' reaction to JJ.
That's what I'm saying.
No, they do like him.
They do like him?
Yes. They think he's like, they don't blame JJ Redick. Even though JJ Redick putting Maxi Kleber in a 4-point game with 5 minutes to go, and the guy hasn't played basketball since January, and he's never practiced with their team.
And playing all your starters the entire second half.
It didn't turn Rudy Gobert into Will Chamberlain.
They don't dislike him. It's weird. JJ Redick does not. Laker fans are not on his ass the same way that you would think.
Yeah.
And a lot of that.
Give it another year.
A lot of that's because you jump on Luka instead.
He's also a new coach.
A lot of it is, it's very reminiscent of Thomas IISALO would have gotten killed for some of the stuff, right? The non-challenges or this or that. But they had already wasted all their time talking about how bad Taylor Jenkins was. Right. So they can't do that. So all these people just spent the last 2 years telling you how horrible Darvin Ham is. Right. So they can't very well now say, right? And JJ got him. In fairness, he got him to the 3 seed.
Like the thing with JJ is, maybe this is it. Like he's clearly smart.
You see it?
I'm scrolling. They on his neck.
The thing with JJ,
there's not one nice thing. I was looking. That was innocent. I was looking for the press conference. I was like, Jesus, I hate this guy.
Well, when he let Game 5 go the way it went without getting Hart and Brunson back in the game, I get that.
Yep.
But broadly speaking,
they also think it's just like give the ball. Like they hate their offense, and Jalen just has to do everything.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. When his teams draw up and down the stretch, he's like,
with JJ, I think Lakers fans probably agree that he's a smart basketball guy. He just is.
Well, he'll tell you.
I know, right? But the problem becomes just because you know everything on a dry erase board doesn't mean you're always making the right decisions.
The only one that's ever called out JJ Redick is Jerry West.
What did he say? I don't remember it.
Wait, you said who called out JJ Redick?
Hardcore.
What do you call him? Rest in peace to the GOAT.
You don't remember this?
To the logo.
When JJ Redick did the whole Bob Cousy was playing against plumbers and whatever. And then they asked Jerry West on NBA radio, and he was like, what did JJ Redick ever do to make a difference in games? He averaged 12 points a game.
Yeah, I'm the logo, bro.
Like, what? Like, and he was very upset about him tearing him down, tearing down the era.
There is a time where smart coaches get too smart for their own good. Like, how would it look if we just played all of our...
No, he's convinced you that he's smarter than you, so that's why nobody criticizes
So you
him.
start seeing him play, you play your 5 starters the entire second half, every minute of the second half, and you're like, well, maybe he's known something. And then you watch him blow a 4th quarter lead and look tired in Game 6. It's like, okay, no.
Maybe you don't know. Maybe he's not smarter than me.
You watch Rudy Gobert score 28 points.
But that's like such a smart guy idea. Like, all right, I hate my bench. We don't have a center. What if we went small and never subbed? Well, somebody else would be like, okay, you can't do that, buddy.
Yeah, you can't ask them.
Neither one of those things is smart.
2K, bro.
Neither one of those things is going to work. But nobody was there to tell him.
Yeah.
What if we went small and never subbed? Well, then Rudy Gobert is going to go 30
and you do know, like,
on
your
you.
second best player is like 40 years old here. Like,
and they like his press conferences, and he was LeBron's choice, and he's, and he comes off like, They're not. They didn't blame JJ Redick in the way that a normal coach usually gets blamed. But I was trying to think about this, even on the tips front. It's like, who does love their coach? Like, does anybody love their coach?
Missoula, they mess with Missoula in Boston.
I think they like
the
Missoula.
Rockets love their coach.
They love Ime.
But they will turn on
The
Missoula.
second they like him because he won. If he loses, oh, buddy.
Missoula?
Yes.
Oh, if he starts losing, he'll go
Yes.
from great to
Goofy.
weirdo.
Yes.
Quick, just like that.
Yes.
They'll be like, this weirdo.
Because he is a weirdo.
Yeah, they're not going to be down with him wanting to like lick blood and stuff. Like if he's losing,
All that stuff. It's one of those things. Yes, it's all perception. Like if you're winning, you can act any kind of way.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like Ime, but like.
Oh,
I think
yes.
There's not enough,
love
there's not enough
Ime.
Rockets, real,
Yes.
like
They love
real
him.
Rockets
Yes.
fans. Like,
but it's going to go the other way on him too. The offense stuff, if it never gets fixed.
Are there
Like,
real
it's-
Rockets fans though, bro?
Yes.
Respectfully.
There are.
Yeah, there are.
Oh, and probably OKC probably loves Dagnall.
Dagnall,
Yeah,
yeah.
like just why would
Because
you
who
not?
cares?
Yeah, it's like
He's like a sim.
can't spell his name,
He's
but
our NPC.
can't spell his name.
He's
but we
an
win.
NPC.
He's an NPC coach.
He's an NPC coach. Non-player character coach. He's just
over there just.
He just looks like a dude.
I've never heard him talk.
I've never heard. Oh, in Cleveland, they probably love JB right now.
No,
No?
in Detroit.
Oh, Detroit.
But Atkinson,
Cleveland, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Cleveland loves Atkinson.
No, you're
Cleveland
right.
loves Atkinson.
I
But
guess
he's
there's
also-
always still a honeymoon in
Also,
NBA.
JB Atkinson, their first year.
You're
guys.
right.
Until they
First year
screw up,
guys and
it's
they're
gonna be,
winning.
Fire that guy! Trade the roster!
I was shocked by the Tibbs hate.
Will Spoelstra get there soon?
I am interested. You want to talk about somebody disinterested? I don't think there's enough passion about that. You know, honestly,
There was a small
I
section,
am interested
GP,
because
on
they
Twitter
got
was
better.
about the Spoelstra
they think
stuff.
the Spoelstra's not
It was-
good.
no, it was just like,
Yeah,
yo.
the Andrew Wiggins. for
No, it was
God's
just like,
sake.
yo,
right.
this heat culture thing, how far it's going to get us.
Oh,
It was like that
oh,
conversation.
I did see some of the. Turns out he culture's having awesome players. like,
Well,
that is fair.
Imagine that.
You know what's crazy? I tried to get Brian Anderson on today. I'm sure he's flying. But Brian Anderson, who's calling these games on TNT, he called the Clipper game last night. He started off as the Spurs sideline guy, right? And so he was a part of all of that was going on. And obviously worked his way up the ladder, does a great job on baseball, TNT, all this other stuff. When we were having our conversation, he was like, think about this. He's like, and I've thought about this a lot. And it's interesting when we say in regards to coaches and Popovich for that matter. He was like, he signed a long-term deal with TNT. So this go round is going to be the last NBA games he calls, right? And he was upset about that because he's been in the NBA, had his foot in the NBA for the better part of 20-something years. But he was talking about the old Spurs thing. And he's like, do you think about this? He's like, if Orlando doesn't turn down Tim Duncan's request, none of it ever happens. He's like, and I've thought about how my career would have been different. Right? He was the sideline guy there.
Yeah.
He's like, if Timmy left, like none of that happens. Yeah. None of it. He's like, instead, right? Like Brian Anderson's he called the game last night, right? And he was a sideline reporter for a team that got a lot of attention, and like, right? Then he worked his way from there to there. It does affect people's jobs, like in a big way.
I genuinely believe among the reasons I got hired at CBS Sports was because I covered John Calipari.
100%.
I don't think they even know who I am if I'm covering Josh Pastner or Larry Finch.
No, it happens all the time with it because what happens is now that market gets so much attention. For being fair, like, dude, I met Bill Simmons because the Grizzlies made it to the West Finals.
Yeah.
Bill was on ABC at the time and was in town. And I was friends with Zach Lowe, and we went out. And that's how I met him originally. Dan Le Batard was always in Miami. Mm-hmm. He became Dan Le Batard on ESPN after the Heat. And the Heedle thing was going on, right? Like the one of the reasons that the media is inundated with people that have come out of Boston is because those are the people that cover the Celtics and the Patriots and the Red Sox and there's all kinds of people with Boston connections, tons.
Like Brian Windhorst's career is connected to he was just covering somebody at the right time, and
and then he pooped on him.
Yeah, but like that, you can't become Brian Windhorst just because you knew LeBron when he was in high school. But that gets you on the path. And
That's right.
And then you, like when I interviewed at CBS, the other people that interviewed was Fox Sports, Washington Post, and New York Times, and Commercial Appeal.
Like based on my job, I didn't belong in that conversation, and they wouldn't even have known who I was if it was not for me covering John Calipari. I genuinely believe that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they were getting a lot of attention, and people were paying attention to it in a way that they had not.
People were reading what I was writing, not because they cared about Memphis, but because they cared about John Calipari.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to show y'all this.
And now you think about, like, that San Antonio thing. I mean, that's 25 years, right? Well, was it 25 that he's there? What was the final tally that they said for Popovich? It was 20-something consecutive playoff years.
Yeah, he did. Let's see.
And obviously we saw
96.
And we saw both versions of it, right? We had one of the greatest upsets in playoff history by beating their 60-something win team as an 8 seed, and then we never friggin' beat them again. Ever. Never.
I just sent Jalen this.
That dude made it his life's mission to torture us for the rest of time. And then we met him in the West Finals and couldn't win a game.
Sweep.
Yeah, I just sent up Jalen the Popovich tree. You put that up, it's insane.
Oh yeah,
Jalen, I sent it to the chat.
Well, I mean, look, you just think about the Budenholzer tree, because Budenholzer comes from Popovich, and then these guys that have been like Budenholzer's staff included Quinn Snyder, Taylor Jenkins, Kenny Atkinson, Darvin Ham. Who else? There's somebody else on there too. I mean, there's like, and then
it's a little bit like
the,
Patino in college.
Look at that, bro.
You go back and look at like Patino's Kentucky staff.
Yeah.
It's like Tubby Smith, Billy Donovan, Herb Sindek.
Sheesh.
It's just like
Steve Kerr. You got Sam Presti in Oklahoma City. Like all these.
His is like Ime Udoka, Will Hardy, James Borrego, Jock Vaughn, Quinn Snyder, Budenholzer, Terry Porter, Mike Brown, Avery Johnson, Becky Hammond, Anthony Carter, Kevin Pritchard, Earl Watson. This is Vinny Del Negro.
Some of the ideas that have come out of that and best practices of the Spurs have been very good for organizations. Some of them have been legitimately terrible. And it feels very, I'm taking Bill Belichick's thing elsewhere. Right? There's a lot to be taken from it. But what I think sometimes happens in sports, and especially this happens in the NBA, this happens in the NFL, everywhere, right? Bro, unless you're Bill Belichick and unless you have the 5 titles, you can't act that way, right? You can't just cut off basketball ops from everybody else the same way they do it in San Antonio, the same way they do it in Oklahoma City, whatever, unless you have the winning to go with it, right? And the same way, you can't just... Like, they always would say this, that Eric Mangini went into New York and everybody rolls their eyes. And Charlie Weiss walked into here and they roll their eyes. And Romeo Crennel walks into there and they roll their eyes. And who was the last one? Matt Patricia walks into Detroit and they're like, you're not him.
Right.
Right? Like, take the best of, right? But like you know, that was a unique market in San Antonio, and the winning was insane. Right. It was insane. You can act any kind of way you want if you got 5 titles. Didn't he win 5? He won 5.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah, 5 of them things.
You can act the same way with New England. You can act any kind of way if the results are 5 titles.
Yeah.
But other than that, you can't. And a lot of times, people try to adopt best practices from what they learned from the Spurs culture or Patriots culture. And it's like, bro, that only works, right? I saw it here. They wanted to hire David Fizdale. He's going to bring Heat culture.
Right.
And everybody sat there and rolled their eyes. Bro, what? You're not Heat culture, right? Like, we're not LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bond. Like, I mean, what?
The other thing that happens with this is if you're a front office and you start going down these paths, what you are more or less doing is letting Gregg Popovich, or in that case, Eric Spoelstra, hire your coach for you. In other words, the only reason you're even interested in the guy, or at least the first reason, is because of who he works for.
Right.
So you just assume, well, he's got to be great. He works for this guy. And there's a long list of, like, even the all-time greats, they don't always hire the best assistants.
Not always.
So you would see this with, like, John Calipari's coaching tree.
Nothing.
It's not good.
His coaching tree's buns?
It's not good. And
there's nobody.
And so these guys... Not great. I mean, not great.
Josh
is maybe...
honestly might be the most successful.
Yeah. Like Tony Barbie was rough. Derek Kellogg bounced around a little bit. Rock, was that...
Oh, my God. There's a Substack about this. college basketball's most barren coaching tree, John Calipari.
Now let me
but it's like the mafia.
But
like they're loyal as hell, and they work for him.
Yeah,
and if they get fired, and he hires them right back. And
so here's the thing: I don't even know I didn't know what a college basketball practice was supposed to look like when I become the beat writer at Memphis. I'd never been to a college basketball practice, and for 4 years, the only practices I really went to were Memphis practices run by John Calipari. So then Derek Kellogg would get a job, or Tony Barbie would get a job, and people would be like, "So what do you think?" And I would, because this was true, Steve Rockford. I was like, "I've never seen him do anything."
Right.
John,
he runs the show.
John runs everything.
Yeah.
Rockford,
There's no delegation.
None. Zero. That might have changed over the years, but at the time I was the beat writer, John Calipari ran every drill. He was the only voice.
Yep.
Steve Rockford was barely even in the gym. He would be in his office, like just recruiting, stuff like that. So I just assumed, I guess this is the way programs are run. But I was around Tony Barbie every day, never saw him do anything as it pertains to coaching or drills or very little, I should say.
So I found the record of from his coaching tree, by the way.
So I remember when me and you went to Tennessee, and Tony, what's his name? Is it Tony Jones?
Tony Jones, yeah.
And Steve Forbes
Yeah.
were the assistants for Bruce Pearl, and it was like, bro, these guys are real-ass coaches.
Well, so I would then go, so then I get the job at CBS, and I'm now at all these practices. I'm in a Rick Pitino practice, and a Mike Krzyzewski practice, a Roy Williams practice, and you realize pretty quickly, the way John does this is not the way these other guys do it. Like Indiana would start a practice, and they'd be running drills like real stuff. Tom Crean would walk in 15 minutes later and be like, all right, now I'm here, now let's get go. But the practice starts without him. And so I watched all these guys get hired off of John Calipari's staff. Yeah. And nobody knew if they could really coach or anything. You were just hiring them because they worked for John Calipari.
Right.
And then you end up, and it's like they can either do the job or they can't, but there's nothing they did as assistants that would give you any confidence. Like I was in the building every day and saw nothing.
His most successful assistant is most wins, Bruiser Flint.
Yeah, Bruiser was at Drexel for a long time.
But that was from UMass.
Yeah,
Bruiser Flint wasn't here.
Yeah, he was UMass and then Drexel.
Orlando Antigua was in South Florida, 23 and 55.
Orlando Antigua.
Tony Barbie brought him up 153 and 177. Derek Kellogg, 229 and 211. Passner, you said his name. Bill Bano.
Bill Bano was a UNLV coach.
94 and 67. John Robick.
Robick. What happened to him?
58
He's
and
still,
130.
I think, in administration. He got pushed out.
Yeah.
And then, I think they just...
I liked him.
The best. But I think they just got him a job, keep this job till you retire type of thing.
Oh, really?
Keep a pension.
Gotcha. He's 58 and 113 in his career.
Yeah.
Chuck Martin, this is probably the worst one. 41 and 118 in his coaching career.
That's tough.
That's his
tough,
coaching
Chuck.
tree.
There's no good ones.
Yeah.
No great ones. I should say no great
That's
ones.
odd.
Yeah.
It's odd to not.
But I think
That's
some of it
crazy,
is,
bro.
at least in the time I was around it every day,
He just did everything.
He did not let those assistants do anything. Like if you were an assistant coach for John Calipari, whether you were Tony Barbie, Josh Pastner, anybody, your job was to stand on the baseline and be like, all right, guys, let's go. Hey, let's get on the floor. Loose ball. That's the extent of what you did.
You know the other thing, and this is true of Kelvin Sampson at Houston. I saw this press conference or interview with him a couple of weeks ago, and I think this is from the Spurs thing as well. It's one of the things that he took from his time there. He said, "We only hire from within. Only. Everybody at Houston started at Houston.
That's
we don't hire somebody from elsewhere.
Right.
And that is true of the Spurs, right? You look at all those guys, like Dagnall was there, and Taylor Jenkins was there, and these guys were like part of their G League, right? And coached the Austin Toros and whatever, and then they worked their way up to the bench, and then we've had all manner of guys that have been a part of that, but they hire from within. Like that's how they do it, right? Like they don't bring in some guy that was good at the Bucks. No, like they hire from within, and even the guy they just gave the job, right? They gave the interim guy the job.
What's his
name?
Yes.
Mitch
Johnson.
Yeah, Mitch Johnson.
Yeah. Right.
They gave him the job, and he's a hire from within.
Right.
Like that's just what they do there. They do not go and outsource.
Right.
We do have a little. We do get a little breaking news on LeBron James.
Oh, is he retiring?
No.
Oh, shoot.
Come on now.
He suffered a grade 2 MCL sprain during Game 5. The injury occurred when Dante DiVincenzo knocked knees with LeBron.
Braun.
I swear to God.
Braun. Come on, bro.
I swear, last night, Pat Bev was doing the live stream for Barstool, and so they were posting clips of it last night. I swear to you, last night, Pat Bev, in the course of this is way before this ever happens.
Yeah.
They were like, what about playoff stuff and whatever? And he goes, let me tell you a little dirty little secret about the playoffs. He goes, when you lose or you gonna lose, that's when guys start being injured. Because I think it was Luka, like they were talking about.
Yeah,
Right? He was like, come on, man. And no, and it's like when he's like, you're gonna notice this. Watch, when anybody's about to lose, all of a sudden guys start getting injured.
By the way, I'm more I want to ask you about because it's getting close. This is. Hold on, I'm turning the brightness up on my phone. This is 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
PJ Haggerty.
NC State?
They're saying Eastern State is the place he's about to go. They said Ole Miss. Apparently, he never talked to Ole Miss. They were just in the running. They're saying NC State's probably.
Who's saying this? Hitman?
Hitman said that, but On Three just tweeted.
Okay, so let's just piece it together. PJ Haggerty is looking for money.
And
Clearly,
Will Wade's the coach at NC State.
But this makes me mad. This makes me mad. I will say this. This is not who I thought we would lose a bidding war to.
Who do you think?
I think we should win bidding wars with NC State.
Not with Will Wade.
We've got to be able to. Again, this is exactly what I told you a couple of weeks ago, though, right? When we first talked about this. If it's Kansas, if it's Texas, if it's North Carolina, but like the mid-tier Power Fives, we gotta what are we then?
But here's the thing:
we're losing players to mid-tier Power Fives.
But the mid-tier Power Fives, in terms of spending, can outspend Kansas if they want to. If they just decide we're going to do it.
Annoying.
Don't ever forget, Will Wade is among the coaches who, while at LSU, allegedly, was literally going into his own pocket.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I got to get $300,000 from a booster.
He was paying people out his own bread.
He's coming out of his own pocket.
That booster documentary is one of the great documentaries that has come out in the last couple of years. What was that guy's name?
Christian Dawkins.
That documentary is awesome. That guy is an electric factory, and they put him in like Rikers Island.
Oh, you know
that.
he's back in. Like
he's a music producer, I think.
Oh, but he's back into basketball stuff.
Oh, he
too.
is?
Oh, he's running around.
Bro, he said he was there with like El Chapo.
Yeah. No, he's back in circles again.
For buying basketball players for LSU.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing I think Memphis is
yeah.
up against. I don't think it's just the money.
You don't.
I think some of it is
who you play.
I think it's conference affiliation on some point.
Yeah.
Like
you think guys don't want to play at Tulsa
or Rice? You think playing in the auxiliary gym at Rice is not a good thing?
You think South Florida's not a big game?
I think that if you trust the reporting, and I have no reason not to, the reporting is that Memphis already put a $3 million NIL offer on the table for PJ Haggerty, and he has rejected that.
That's crazy.
Is
he going to get more than $3 million?
I mean, what that suggests to me is
who don't want to be here.
Yeah, it ain't just about money.
So now they're saying, so shout out to my guy Hitman, who's the GOAT at some of this stuff. He said Marcus King, who's like his handler agent kind of guy, has a good relationship with Will Wade.
I think all handlers have a good
Everybody
relationship
does.
with Will Wade.
Yeah,
So
right.
a handler, that's the best guy to have.
Will Wade's everybody's best friend.
So he's using his relationship with Will Wade to get PJ. Shout out to my guy Hitman. Shout out my dog.
I would be. It's troubling either way. This is the University of Memphis. Derrick Rose played here.
I don't want to lose. Remember when we were going to lose Calipari to NC State? I didn't want that either.
Okay, right.
It's like, bro, don't make that step.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you
I
want to
was
go to.
I was sitting at the Olive Branch Airport till 1 o'clock in the morning, waiting for a Cal's plane to land.
That's true.
That's a true story.
Miserable.
Hey, if you're going, look, everybody was pissed, but it's Kentucky.
Yeah. We've nothing you can do. Nobody's turned down Kentucky.
It's Kentucky.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah.
NC State would have been mega annoying. It's like, bro, I do not view them as that's not a necessary step, right? And I think that's what, honestly, I think that was the Chris Beard thing too, right? Part of it is I think he probably likes how he's set up at Ole Miss, but Texas A&M is not a necessary step, right? Like if you're going to go from there, then you go to UCLA, Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina, Indiana,
Arizona,
blue blood.
To me, it's bad either way for Memphis because it represents something.
We suck again.
You are going to be either outbid by, as you put it, mid-tier Power 5 school.
That's what they are.
You're either going to get outbid, or you're going to have somebody who just earned All-American honors for you stand up and more or less say, the money's basically the same. I would just rather play at NC State than Memphis because it's the ACC, not the AAC.
Raleigh, North Carolina,
Either one of these things is a problem for Memphis because Memphis has been in a bad basketball league for a while, but it didn't prevent Derrick Rose from wanting to play at Memphis. It didn't prevent Chris Douglas-Roberts from staying at Memphis. It didn't prevent Jalen Duren, Imani Bates. But we might really be in a place now where elite-level prospects, either high score in the transfer portal, are saying, I don't want to play in that league. I don't want to play at UTSA on a Tuesday and against Charlotte on a Saturday.
I don't want to watch it.
Respectfully.
Well,
so I understand.
Well, that's what these
no,
are. Real,
you and I were both on the
these
same page.
These are real problems.
Bro, I don't care if it is. Like we could sit around and wait for another conference to invite us. Like I would have done that Pac-12 thing in a second.
You got to get.
I can't take this anymore.
Well, here's the ultimate problem. If you're a Memphis official, you can't even lie to yourself anymore. You can't sit back and go, well, but if we have good teams, it'll be okay. No, you just had a good football team and nobody cared. Nobody showed up.
We did get a 5 seed in the that is one.
You had a college basketball team in this city that played in this building, and they were ranked in the top 25 pretty much all year long, led by an All-American, coached by your favorite son. Nobody came to the games.
You're right.
Nobody came to the games.
That's true.
And you're
not going to be that good very often.
And you
probably won't be that good next season.
And you were fun to watch too, high key.
Yeah, you were.
Nobody went to
likable team.
Yeah,
when you have a good product and nobody goes to the games, then it's not a little will. If we get good, you ain't going to be as good. When's the next time Penny Hardaway is going to have a team that's ranked in the top 25 basically the entire season, led by a consensus All-American?
No, you're right. And here's the deal. Here's the deal. It's like the Tuesday night that we play the Charlotte Hornets. That's every game.
Yeah. Yes.
We know the Monday or Tuesday night game against the Hornets is going to be terribly attended.
Yeah.
Like we know that.
Or the Pacers.
We know that is happening, right? But there is no Lakers game on that schedule.
This is the other problem.
Once you get to January.
I don't want to fight over the math, but roughly half your games in the NBA are going to be against quality competition, playoff caliber teams, stars you recognize. Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Yaxel.
Yeah, play against Yaxel.
Looking forward to our game against Yaks.
And I love some Yaks, man.
And he's somewhere else now, right?
Michigan. And here's the other problem.
He got a bag.
Here's the other problem. It'd be one thing.
He's good.
So I was at Texas Tech for a game down in February.
Yeah.
All right. And I was talking to Grant McCaslin, Texas Tech coach. I was like, what do you think, Craig? He's like, it'll be good. He's like, it won't be quite like popping like if we were playing, Baylor tonight, but it'll still be good. Unranked Arizona State, whatever. He's like, dude, there's nothing else for anybody to do. We're in Lubbock, Texas. They'll be here because what else are they going to do? Go to Chili's?
Yeah.
You can either go to Chili's or come watch a top 10 basketball team.
Go watch the sand blow.
What are you going to do?
Go to Red Robin for a buffet?
Well, the problem here.
Shout out Red Robin.
Like, if you're a husband, wife, family of 4, on any given week, you might have 4 basketball games in this building.
Oh, yeah.
Who you want to go see?
Right.
Memphis against Charlotte.
Yeah.
No, there is competition
or
for
Anthony Edwards is in town. And it's not just a money thing, although the money does matter.
Time.
It's time.
It is.
I am somebody that when I'm in town can send an email and go to any game, anything I want to go to.
Thing.
I don't have time to go to 4 basketball games a week, and most people don't either.
Right.
Even the people with the money don't have the time.
Right.
So if you're picking, hey, Lou, Oliver, we're going to go to 1 basketball game this week. You want to go see Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, or Yaxel?
Why you say Yaxel like that,
but
bro?
if that's
Why you gotta say
but
Yaxel
if that's Memphis Gonzaga, we're having a different conversation.
Yes.
Oh, we lit.
I agree.
We cranked. We piped up.
Now you might say, let's skip Anthony Edwards. Let's go see Gonzaga.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. The Zags are in town.
We piped up. Let's roll.
People got so caught up in the new Pac-12 isn't the Big 12 or the ACC. What they lost sight of is it still gives you games people will care about.
That's right.
It still gives you games that look the right way on TV.
Because once our non-conference is done, that is over.
It's over with.
If you're playing those new Pac-12 schools, they'll at least look like real basketball games when you turn on your TV.
And now we losing players at NC State.
Yeah, because
that annoys me.
Raleigh's a good city, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
You just went to J. Cole
There's a
Fest.
lot of beautiful people in Raleigh, boy.
Yeah?
A lot of beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's like, but when you were at Memphis and suddenly you gotta.
Well, I'm just so horny, bro. He's so horny.
It's not about the horny
I think
thing.
he gets those like bee pills from the gas station.
Not the
and
bee
stuff.
joints. Not the
What are
honey.
they?
I'm taking the honey pack before the show.
packs.
I put the honey
think he
pack in
takes
the
a
water
honey
before the
pack.
show. My bad.
You ever taken one of those? He said they're ridiculous.
Actually, define what we're talking about
A
here.
honey pack? You never heard of a honey pack?
I don't know what a honey pack is.
GP, you ain't tapped in, bro.
What do I need to know about
I
a
think
honey
they're
pack?
supposed to give you an erection.
For a very long time.
Like longer than 4 hours. Like,
for a
go to the
long
hospital.
time. Like,
You get him at the gas station. He says they work.
see, though, he said I said they work.
How long?
I'm telling GP, them honey packs are something different, bro.
A honey pack. I need to walk into a Mapco and say,
let me get a honey pack.
Let me get a honey pack.
And can you please
Don't say it
record
out loud,
this?
though.
You
Like,
think
what-
they sell them at the Dodgers store? I can go in and get a pizza stick and a honey pack.
You can get 3 for $15 at the Dodgers.
You got the
You can get
Chicken
a deal.
on a stick.
You get a
Get a
deal.
chicken on a stick and a honey pack.
Yeah, you can drizzle.
I know where I'm going.
Look, GP, look, you can even drizzle the honey pack on the chicken.
Get out.
That's the remix.
Get out.
Tell me about. Hey, honey packs. They look, bro. Y'all watch out for them honey packs.
So you can create a recipe where eating a chicken on the stick will make you a better sexual partner.
There you go.
How about that?
And
Who
you
knew
can
that?
look good food and a sexual partner. Look, that's.
It sounds like a business. Sex chicken.
Yeah.
Sex chicken.
Chicken.
By the way, I have been sitting.
It's a hell of a business idea.
A lot of things you can do.
There's a lot of available real
you
estate for lease downtown
honestly,
right now.
honestly, like, and then your whole marketing campaign. Do you like sex? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like chicken?
Sure.
Yes.
Where are your places?
Sex chicken.
You can do them both at the same time.
And then even when you get through with your chicken, you still got a stick.
Yeah, you still got a stick.
If you need it.
Use it if you want.
If you need it.
Hey, shout out to the.
I had to cut the little pointer off. You get a little too short. But you still got a stick if you need it.
Shout out to the honey pack.
man.
By the way,
What?
the streets have told me
What about the streets?
there's a music video going on at Silky O'Sullivan's right now.
Who?
So if you ever wanted to be a video
is it?
vixen, this is your time.
Who is it?
Who's down there?
They said Steve Aoki and
Steve Aoki?
and
He's mega famous.
Florida Georgia line, bro.
Florida Georgia line. They're back together.
They're Silky's right now.
They're getting a diver
They said
bucket?
they're recording a damn music video in there right now, bro.
There's 17 cop cars, so I bet they are. Look, there it is. There's
Look, yeah, look.
Bro, why we got all those cop cars protecting Steve Aoki? We got a whole city getting shot up.
Wait, by the way, there's also 10 guys walking around downtown that look like Steve Aoki.
Why are we protecting Steve Aoki?
He didn't stand out.
I might get carjacked on the interstate, but at least Steve Aoki's gonna be okay.
What is he doing the beard? What is doing the beard gonna
That's
do?
ZZ Top. He looks like Secret Service, like ZZ Top Secret Service.
This man got no socks on out there in the rain. What are you doing, bro?
What is he looking at? He looks like Secret Service, like he's looking around.
No, he looks like Bubba Gump after he got done running, or Forrest after he got done running.
Guess I'll go home now.
Guess I'll go home now.
What is
Oh,
my
God,
fella?
you ain't protecting nothing, bro.
oh,
Top
God.
flight security of the
All
world.
right, go
man.
enjoy your weekend, Gary.
I'm not going
We'll
to.
be back to
My
this
weekend's
Chris
gonna
Vernon
suck.
show.
Thing that came out this week that we were talking about innovation and Nike and all that. They dropped these $900 hyper boots that
900.
I
These have
mean
been in
they're
the
a
works for a
recovery
while.
shoe
Yeah,
apparently
yeah.
that you wear after sports, whatever.
Who's buying it? Because all the athletes that we see, they gonna get seeded this. So who's gonna actually pay $900 for this?
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
We touched on this earlier, the panel here, about what really has been the mainstay of the Grizzlies, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. Trip has just been awesome.
He's posting guys up. He's stronger than he's ever been. He's physical, and he's scoring all type of ways.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I thought Penny was smart to handle this the way he handled it. He expressed frustration with the system, the chaotic nature of it. The price hike on eggs ain't got nothing on the price hike on basketball players. The same dude who cost you $150,000 last summer is costing you $500,000 right now. I understand his sentiment, but he stopped well short of criticizing PJ Haggerty.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Bane tries.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Close. He hits and the Grizzlies have the lead.
Yeah!
Jarrett with a knockaway.
Good defense.
Durant attacking, spinning, hanging, and hitting.
There's no doubt. Let's go.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
How about Mr. Irrelevant coming from the Memphis Tigers? Yeah, how about that? New England Patriots
Second time.
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor with the 257th overall pick.
If you're the player getting drafted at that spot, it's almost better to go undrafted and pick a place as an undrafted free agent to sign with where you have a better chance.
But you get a lot of stuff. You get a parade. I think you go to Disneyland, I believe.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to Disney?
I think so.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I need cameras to capture every waking moment between Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston on the same team. The pregame prayers will be generational.
Because that's preacher and a deacon. That's what we're talking about here. That prayer's going to be 40 minutes. We're going to miss the anthem.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Welcome back to the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, back to your host, Chris
On one morning
Vernon.
bright and clear, my old folks and I drew near, just a village down in sunny Tennessee. I'd been speeding on that train that would bring me back again to that girl I left in sunny Tennessee. I could hear those voices singing.
We're back. Chris Vernon Show. All right, we talked about the games that went on last night between Detroit and the Knicks. We talked about the Clippers and the Nuggets. Golden State and Houston are playing in their huge Game 6 tonight. As we have talked about many times on this show, total deja vu from what happened in the Grizzlies series against Golden State a couple of years ago. If it is going to be complete deja vu, then that means Golden State will take care of them in a Game 6, right? Because it felt like they punted Game 5, which we saw them do in FedEx Forum here, and then they will be unrecognizable tonight as compared to what they looked like in Game 5.
Yeah.
That's what we learned a couple of years ago.
And I think maybe the Rockets having to put their starters back in the other night, having to finish that game because the Warriors started, the bench guys started making the run.
And Pat Spencer headbutting somebody.
Yeah.
So maybe, look, I hope it gets dicey. I hope we get, I hope it gets feisty. How about that? I hope it gets feisty tonight with Houston. Look, their backs are completely against the wall, so it could very well get feisty.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
We know their fans are not going to show up.
Huh?
We know their fans are not going to show up. They probably had the worst,
Houston?
For them to be
but this isn't Golden State.
Oh, it's in Georgia. Okay, bad. Never mind.
Yeah, this is in Golden State tonight. All right, one of the things, so we got that going on this weekend, then we got the Clippers-Nuggets Game 7. I just hated the way the Clippers finished that game so much that now I originally thought the Clippers were going to win that series, and now I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, though.
Jamal Murray, Jokic pick and roll.
Right? I just don't know what's going to happen, but, I mean, could you imagine if Denver lost 2 home Game 7s in a row, back-to-back years?
Yeah, that's right. Just I'd say I can't see them losing a Game 7 at home, but they just did. So,
but it seems crazy.
It seems
honestly,
crazy.
They should have never lost that game. They had like a 98% chance of winning it.
Yeah.
I still can't believe they lost that game to the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
So it would shock me if they lost a Game 7 at the crib.
Right?
Yeah. This one might shock me for real.
But it is Kawhi.
It's Kawhi.
I mean,
it's just Kawhi, though.
They have a chance of having the best player on the floor, though.
Yeah.
He could go nuclear.
He could.
Right? Like, you could see that. Where backs against the wall now, it's like, it's one game. Like, I certainly, look, in a one-game scenario, I want Kawhi Leonard. Not like I don't want Nikola Jokic, but I
take Kawhi.
It's going to be great. Game 7's going to be great.
Yes.
We got a Game 6 tonight. We got a Game 7 tomorrow. Series between the Cavs and the Pacers is going to start on Sunday. Series between the Knicks and Celtics is going to start on Monday.
That's going to be lit.
And so we got some good ones. We got some good ones for sure. The other thing that is going on this weekend is the Kentucky Derby, which the reason this is important is because for many, many years, we would go down and we would always we would do live shows for years at Southland and then would bet on the Kentucky Derby and whatever else. And the thing we love is the names. We pick by the names. Like we used to really analyze it,
but
now
really
at this point,
down.
I don't know. And maybe my best bet of all time, I don't think it's even close. The best bet I've ever had. It was how many years between Triple Crown winners? It was well over 30 years between Triple Crown winners. I saw American Pharoah in the Arkansas Derby. Mm-hmm. And I went and put a bet down. A horse will win the Triple Crown this year. American Pharoah is one of my top 5 favorite athletes ever. Top 5 ever. He won the Triple Crown. Then he did it. It was like the biggest long shot I've ever hit. Was American Pharoah winning the Triple Crown, and that was because of what he did in Arkansas. Here are the names, okay? So now you guys don't know anything about horse racing.
No.
I'm not even going to tell you the odds. You're picking by the name.
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen the odds.
Okay. You have?
Yeah.
Okay. Citizen Bull.
Yeah.
No, I'm straight.
Neoquist? I don't even know how to say that. Neoquist. That is a terrible name.
That might be my winner.
Final Gambit.
Okay.
Rodriguez.
Scratched. Rodriguez has been. I loved Rodriguez.
You got scratched?
Been scratched. Yeah, I got scratched this morning.
American Promise.
Rodriguez is Bob Baffert's too.
American Promise.
Okay.
Admire Daytona. Luxor Cafe.
Midtown has horse.
Journalism.
Journalism's a horse?
Journalism's the favorite.
Is the J capital?
He is a favorite.
Is it J capital?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And this would be...
It would be funny as hell if journalism won.
And I would say...
A long-awaited win for journalism.
Journalism needs this win because journalism has not had a win in a long time. Fake news has been winning big time.
That's right. The faith American has in journalistic enterprises is very low.
Even Scott Pelley's upset on 60 Minutes, so like journalism needs a win.
That's right. Burnham Square, Grande, he's gotten scratched. I saw.
Oh, I like Grande.
Yep, Grande. Flying Mohawk. You don't like Flying Mohawk? East Avenue. Oh, what if it comes down? I didn't even realize this was another name. What if it comes down neck and neck between journalism and publisher? There's a horse called. What is up with these names?
Oh, yeah, come on, bro. What's up with y'all?
What's up with these names, bro?
Yeah,
Publisher?
Yeah, I don't know if I feel about publisher, bro.
Tiztastic?
Yeah, it's a terrible name.
It's a weenie name.
Render Judgment?
Render Judgment.
Coal Battle?
Coal Battle.
What is it? Horse from West Virginia.
Okay, this is going to be our favorite one. I think we're all going to do. I think we are going to unanimously agree.
Okay.
We are all going to agree on this. Sandman.
Sandman's a good one.
You can do Enter the Sandman.
No, Sandman is that's got it. All right, he's 6-1. And then we have Sovereignty.
Yeah.
Lame. Chunk of Gold.
I like Chunk of Gold. So
I
Chunk
do
of
too.
Gold.
I like Chunk of Gold too.
Okay, great story here with Chunk of Gold. Chunk of Gold.
What do you know about this?
I've done a little research.
You tapped into the horses?
Chunk of Gold was only like a $2,500 horse. It is not owned by one of these big, the Saudis or the big oil, Bob Bafferts. Like it's not owned by one of those.
Did you just throw Bob Baffert in with the Saudis and big oil?
Yeah, I mean, Bob Baffert, by the way, back.
That's the second time. That's the second time you said his name.
The guy that used to coach Georgia Tech.
So Bob Baffert's like the most decorated horse owner trainer in history. He is back this year at Churchill Downs after a 3-year ban.
Oh, he got banned.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah.
He's back. Yeah, I think he was doping horses or something.
Yeah, this is like
they do that. Yeah. But yeah, so
allegedly.
Chunk of Gold. Yeah, allegedly.
That's
Chunk of Gold. Also read a story about Bob Baffert's first Derby winner, Silver Charm, back in 1997. It's Kentucky Derby tomorrow, man.
Wait, what do you? Where did you read about Chunk of Gold?
Wolken wrote. Actually, Dan Wolken wrote about both of them. He wrote about Chunk of Gold and he wrote about Silver Charm.
Of course, he did.
Yeah. Pat Forty also wrote about how Churchill Downs is weird right now. It's weird vibes, and the vibes have been weird there for a little while.
Why?
Pat
All
Forty
right,
wrote about
then we have Owen
Owen
Almighty.
No,
that's just a stupid name.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And then we have Beza. Okay, so there we go.
Beza.
I think we agree Sandman, right?
Sandman? Flying Mohawk is also ridiculous.
So
Sandman.
Fun fact. Fun fact. Not really though for Sandman.
What is up with all your fun facts?
Fun facts from?
None of these facts are fun.
No horse has ever won from the 17 post in the Kentucky Derby. Where Sandman is.
So Sandman's not going to win.
No, because he's going to get trapped.
I don't know, but no horses.
You can't trap the Sandman.
Yeah, bro.
It's a tough one.
What's that song, bro?
What do we need to know about Sandman? Anything?
Inner Sandman?
Inner Sandman.
That's what Virginia Tech comes out to in football. Yeah.
What do you know about what do you know about Sandman, Roser?
Yeah, come on, give us a fun fact.
I just know he's the 17 and the 17 doesn't win.
That's lame. Give us a good fact.
Oh, his jockey is Jose Ortiz.
Yeah. I know him. That's the homie.
Oh!
That's my dog.
No! I'm 100% betting Sandman. He killed everybody in the Arkansas Derby.
Okay.
You win the Arkansas Derby.
Yeah.
That's what matters to me. That's American Pharaoh style.
Yeah.
Okay, I bet that.
Yes. Eight starts. He's won 3 times. He's gotten second once, and he's gotten third twice.
Yeah.
I'm with him. Can you chug a beer? Because my dog Sandman could.
Sandman.
So these are
Sandman.
yeah. So Fish had all these.
Oh
for
my
me
God,
yesterday.
he is the he's the son of Tappet, which is
Tappet's a great name.
I like Tappet. I like Tappet.
Hey, you know what Tappet is? The country's top sire.
What does that mean?
He humps the most.
He humps a king humper.
Does a lot
That's
of
why
humping.
he's Tappet.
So he had a honey pack probably.
Yep.
Shout out my dog, honey pack, man.
Hey, he was sold at auction last year, Sandman. $1.2 million.
Okay, we were Sandman, bro.
The highest amount of any horse in the Kentucky Derby. This is like the Dodgers.
Yeah. He's king of humping and king of horse racing.
Sandman is like the Dodgers, and you're talking about chunk of gold being what, like $250,000?
No, he's like 2,500.
Oh, 2,500?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't compete. He's the Pirates.
He's the Pirates.
He has Paul Skeens, and that's it.
But Skeens may be on the mound on Saturday. He may have Skeens on the mound.
But no, I think you hit it on the head, bro.
So 19 past winners. This would bode well for Sandman. 19 past winners have had the names beginning with the letter S.
What is this paper?
Be good. Fish gave me these yesterday. Starting posts 5 and 10 have proved to be the luckiest. Riders assigned to posts 5 and 10 have won more times than any other starting position.
Listen to this. This dude won the Arkansas Derby by 2.5 lengths and had a 99 Bayer speed figure, the best of his career. Sandman, bro.
He's top of the top,
Sandman.
Bro. He's peaking at the right level, Roser.
Yes.
He's peaking at the right.
Be.
He's peaking at the right time.
He's the son of Tappet.
And would be the first to ever win from the 17 post.
It sounds like he would make history.
He would have to legit make history to win from the 17
Sandman
post.
is going to make history, chug a beer, and be your champion of the Kentucky Derby, Roser.
The Derby is the oldest continuously held major sporting event in the United States. It has been running since 1875.
All right, I'm Sandman. Exit live.
Yeah, wait.
And night. Yeah, Sandman. Yeah. That's what we're going with.
I'm with Sandman, bro.
Yeah.
Here's another fun fact.
He said he came from the king of humping, so I'm with that.
Yeah, and he won the Arkansas Derby, which is exactly, I just told you. Wait, you're not going to be on him.
Sandman?
You're not.
Oh, no.
Yep,
you're not. Some bad news. What did he do?
He's white.
A white horse?
Yes. I just looked him up.
Is he a white horse, deadass?
I just looked it up.
Wait, he's a white horse?
Look it up.
Kentucky Derby?
Sandman. Type in Sandman horse.
It's a crazy thing to Google.
He's Cooper Flag.
Yeah, he's the Cooper Flag of horses.
He's the Cooper Flag of horses.
Yeah.
Oh, he a little ashy. No, I can rock with him.
He's a little ashy.
My dog a little ashy, bro. He ain't completely white. Look at it. He a little tint to him. Oh my God.
Is it white?
He a little ashy, bro.
What are you talking
He's
about?
Like Tyrone Biggums, bro. When you put no lotion on.
That's just dirt. You're trying to claim him.
Yeah, he's with us. Look at that. Look how majestic he look, bro. Come on. That's my dog right there, bro. He look a little ashy. I can rock with him. He's like me. He's like me without the lotion.
Sandman.
I'm with him, bro.
Silver Charm was white and won the Derby and the Preakness in 1997.
Sandman. I told you, big comeback.
Big comeback.
White athletes made a huge comeback.
Well, I told you, he not white, bro.
Sandman.
He not white, bro. He's just ashy. Either him or what's that dude? You
said he's Isaiah Hartenstein.
He's Isaiah
Hartenstein.
Yeah, got a little tint to him. When we found out he was black, I was so
that's journalism.
Journalism.
Oh yeah, that's Brown. My guy, Brown boy, man. Shout out.
These horses are so awesome.
They are.
They really are.
They're so fast.
Have you ever been to a horse track?
No,
I went to the one in Hot Springs, Oaklawn, where they have the Arkansas Derby.
Yeah.
And you can you can get way close to like where they're running when they run in the races during the day. I mean, they are unbelievable animals, and you cannot believe how fast those things. I mean, it is powerful, brother, powerful, and they are so pretty, and they are so like
they're majestic,
and they care for them so. But you know what I mean? Like they just look unbelievable when you see them.
Yeah,
it's like they, they. I guess with however they brush them and whatever. I mean, they just it's awesome. It is.
I'm about to go to a horse race before my time is over.
It is awesome to see it up close and personal. Truly, you can't believe it.
What's the closest joint to here?
That's it. Hot Springs.
Hot Springs.
Yeah. And it's great.
We can go to the amusement park too if you want.
Your dream vacation.
They got a casino now too, don't they? Over there?
Yeah.
Of course, they got a casino.
The water park.
You've never been to Hot Springs?
I haven't been to Hot Springs since I was like. Yeah,
no, it's
great.
great.
I was young.
I love it there.
Yeah,
it's great.
Hot Springs is a vibe.
Yes,
especially that water. They still got the water park down there.
Mm-hmm. You got the water park. They got a good little downtown.
It's a vacation destination.
They've got all those. What do they call them? They call the not spas, but what are they? It's the mineral water. What do they call them? Bathhouses.
Oh,
They're everywhere.
That sounds.
What the hell's a bathhouse?
Like you go in and like they have steam rooms and they have these baths and whatever. It's like a recovery type stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's great.
Like a thorough chamber and something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they have it's mineral water or something.
Okay, bet.
It's a big deal there. Big deal there. But yeah, Hot Springs is great.
Rosa, we're gonna have to take a trip.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go.
Hey, why is Hot Springs not sponsored the show yet, bro? How much we talked about Hot Springs in the last 2 years?
The same reason C4 doesn't sponsor the
Convention
show
of Visitors Bureau.
Yeah, we should be on the Hot Springs. Like,
do you know I tried one of those C4s the other day and I got itchy?
Yeah.
Is there something in there that makes it itchy?
Yeah, you're supposed to go work out right after that. I've gotten past that.
Wait,
it doesn't
you
do
didn't?
that.
Would you just drink one just to drink one?
Yeah, you started.
I was tired.
For the vibes?
Yeah, you started getting the.
You've had it.
Yeah, when I used to first
Celsius
start drinking
doesn't
them.
do that.
Yeah, when I first started drinking them, I'd get that.
Why was I getting itchy?
Yeah, it means you got to go work out. That means you got to go get some energy off. Yeah.
I think it means I shouldn't be drinking it.
That's absolutely true.
That's what it means.
I started getting itchy.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I getting itchy? I was like, I can't drink the rest of this. It happens to you too.
Well, not anymore. I'm just used to it.
All right, so I'll give you an example. Ghost, Celsius, Alani, any of those energy
So the
drinks.
Alani news?
But I just don't have a reaction to caffeine. So it's not caffeine.
What is in C4?
Something is in C4 that made me itchy.
Alani's do that to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Makes you itchy?
Y'all get itchy?
and my stomach. I feel like I'm going to throw up when I drink
Like
them
real
now.
deal, like scratching yourself.
Yeah, C4s used to do that to me. Ghosts would do that to me.
Yeah, Ghost doesn't. Or Celsius, like that. None of those. Monster, whatever. I mean, I can drink all those energy drinks and
But C4,
be
you was tweaking.
rather unfazed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried
What
one of those
flavor did you
C4s
get? What flavor
It was
did you get?
strawberry watermelon.
Oh, no. Oh, basic. No. Horrible flavor.
Well, I've also had the orange.
Orange is that's what I was drinking. Orange is fantastic.
You don't even get phased by it no more.
No.
But you say you didn't go work out after? You just drank it just for the vibes?
I would also recommend the Cosmic.
Drink a coffee, bro.
Huh?
Drink a coffee or something.
It was warm outside.
The strawberry's
I stopped
great.
at the gas station, idiot. Why don't you stop judging me?
Yeah.
Because you said you started itching when you drank a C4.
I didn't know. I was like, why am I itchy?
Yeah, don't worry about that. Just keep drinking them. It passes. It passes. Trust me.
I for sure don't want a drink to make me itchy.
It passes. No. Eventually it passes.
Freak me out.
It passes. Eventually you drink enough of them.
I feel like my skin's itchy.
You drink enough of them, you don't itch.
Okay.
You drink enough of them, you don't itch.
That's crazy.
I'll just find a different way to get my caffeine.
No, that you can also do that.
You could sponsor you, but I'm not. It makes me itchy.
If they do, cherry limeade.
Oh, speaking of,
get you a C4 deal, bro.
Also, speaking of, I will say real quick, I got a super nice message. So you guys got to go over there. I got a super nice message from the place that we mentioned when Jessica was in here the other day, Hard Times Deli downtown.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Super
turn
nice
up.
message. They were like, "Look, small businesses need all the help they can get. Thank you so much for the shout out on the show, whatever." Because when I was talking about it out, I don't know anybody over there. Like it's not like my friends opened that place. I just went there because I saw it online, and it was great.
Yeah.
And I meant that. It was great. But anyway, they sent me a super sweet message, and they were thanking me for mentioning them on the show the other day. And so I'm glad they're doing well, right? They're right over there across from Sun Studio.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make a little trip over there.
You got to do it. You got to try it. You got to try
I
it.
leave today, I'm
right?
gonna go over there.
Oh yeah, you're going to Nashville, right? You got to be careful, bro. No. Have you not been reading all this stuff?
What's going
on? Hey,
on?
I'm serious. Stay with your friends. This is what they keep saying.
Yeah.
Stay with your friends and watch your drinks. Oh, there's these people and it's not women, it's men. Have been coming up missing.
Oh snap!
From Broadway, this is like a thing.
Oh god.
Oh, I'm seeing it online.
Yeah,
dude. There was
locked in this
bro. There was a guy
sure.
the other day that was like 30-something years old. He ended up in a field 30 miles away. They had taken everything from him. He doesn't remember. He was at Jason Aldean's. You can find it online.
Shit.
He was at Jason got cameras all over the place.
Yeah, he
was at Jason Aldean's, and he next thing he knows, he's in a friggin' field.
Yeah, we don't need that.
30 miles away.
That's wild.
Well, they found the one guy in the damn Cumberland River. Remember the kid that got separated from his friends and whatever? It's like
that's true.
Some weird stuff going on, bro.
Make sure I stay locked in.
Some weird stuff going on. Yeah,
Good looks, because I need, even my homeboys and everybody we going with, I'll make sure we stay locked in.
Well, look, there's a ton of people that are there having a great time and having fun.
Yeah.
But, there's these weird instances, and they pop up it's popped up too much recently.
Yeah.
So there's something going on, and there's
Something going on,
somebody being nefarious.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
they know it's such a tourist city, so they know like people are just there for the vibes, and they're like, yo.
Well, and other people, and also people are getting extremely drunk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. They said we're going to. I don't know if y'all heard about Snoop Dogg's new bar on Broadway.
Snoop Dogg has a bar?
Yeah, we're gonna go there, and then we always go to Pushing Daisies. Pushing Daisies is our spot. Shout out Pushing Daisies, by the way.
What is Snoop Dogg's bar called?
I don't know. Someone sent it to me. My friend sent it to me.
Oh, it's
I hope it's called the Shiznit.
Still Gin Lounge, Still Gin Lounge, Snoop Dogg and Dre.
How about that?
It's both of them,
yeah.
Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre.
Huh.
So we might do that tonight. We're gonna catch a vibe.
All right.
So yeah, I'll stay.
Be safe. Have fun.
I'm gonna try to give me a Cam Ward jersey. I'm gonna see what the Cam Ward vibe's looking like.
If I go to the festival, I will update you.
Please go, bro. You have.
I might do it.
You have to go.
I might do it.
'Cause
There's adults that are going, and I would take my son and let him run around with his friends just so I could see Public Enemy and the Killers.
There you go. Like I'm going to Nashville. You go to a festival. Rosa, what you doing this weekend?
I gotta go. I'm going to a wedding tomorrow.
Boo!
It's a listener of ours.
Boo!
Though,
Shout him out.
His name's John and his fiancee Olivia. I'll be at your reception. I won't be at the wedding, but I'll be at the reception.
Why aren't you going to the wedding?
Why aren't you going to the wedding?
Because weddings are boring.
Yes, they are.
I mean, they are, but
They
I
are
can't.
so
But
boring.
that's not why. No, girlfriend won't be off work in time.
Oh, you can't go by yourself. You don't care about John and Olivia enough to go by yourself.
I didn't know John and Olivia as of like 3 weeks ago. I didn't even know him.
Shout out John and Olivia, man. Congrats
I
on
didn't
the
even know him
marriage.
until like 3 weeks ago.
Congrats on the marriage.
I'm
man.
actually for sure not going if she's not.
So I'm
Rosa.
pretty sure. I know I'm dead serious. I think halftime of the Timberwolves game.
Oh my god.
That's when you met him?
I think that's the time I met them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And now you're going to their wedding.
And now I'm going, to
no,
the
you're going to
reception.
get. You're just
I'm
going
to the
for the free
reception.
food.
Free food.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Shout out to you,
All right.
Rosa.
All right, everybody have a wonderful and safe weekend. We will return on Monday. Thanks to John Rosa across the glass. Thanks to Devin Walker. Thanks to Jalen back in the studio. Go Sandman. And then who are we rooting for? Do we want the Clippers or the Nuggets? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Just give me a good basketball.
Warriors or the Rockets?
Warriors.
Warriors.
Okay.
Go
Would you rather
Warriors.
see Warriors versus Wolves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't have two
And-
young teams going head to head. You only get one of them for me.
Fair.
Because F the Thunder.
Okay. We will be back on Monday. Until then, we gone.